Hello everyone, I'm Sarah Swinzer, and today in this video we are going over our interactions between organisms. So we're going to be starting our ecology unit. So ecology is a field in biology that studies the interactions of organisms in an ecosystem. So some ecological interactions to look at is something called a niche. So a niche is the specific role a species will play in its community. So it has its specific role to basically help everyone else out in the community or just maybe just themselves. So we'll see. So it's their role in their community. All right, so symbiosis. Sim means together, bio means life. So this is a relationship between organisms in a community. There's a few things we're going to look at with this one. So first off, we're going to actually look at parasitism. So with parasitism, this is represented by a plus and a minus. Basically, one species is benefited and the other one is harmed. So one species benefits, the other is harmed. A good example of this is going to be a dog and a tick, or even a tarantula wasp laying eggs inside other tarantulas while they're still alive. That would be parasitism. Some other types of interactions that would be plus minus would be things like predation and herbivory. Predation, predator eats prey. Herbivory, organism eats a plant species. One benefits, the other is harmed. The other one I want to look at is mutualism. Mutualism is represented by plus plus. And basically, this is where one species benefit and so does the other. So both species are going to benefit from this interaction. Good example of mutualism is a sea anemone and a clownfish, or bees pollinating flowers. Those are examples of mutualism. Next, I want to go over is competition. So competition is represented by minus and minus. Basically, they compete for the same resources, so they are both actually harming each other for this. So they compete. Commensalism is the last one I want to go over. Commensalism, this is represented by plus 0. Basically, one species benefits and the other's not affected at all. So if there's like something that's really not affected at all in that relationship, that is called commensalism. So this brings us to generalists versus specialists. Generalists are species that can eat many different types of foods. So, for example, raccoons can eat pretty much everything. They even eat garbage. Specialists, they are species that can only eat certain types of foods. Example for this are koalas. They only eat eucalyptus plants. So those are some of your generalists and specialists. Okay, so technically, if you guys are watching this video, it means that you missed the lab day. So what I'm going to do, instead of having you do the lab on your own, you are going to go through the cards yourself and try to figure out the relationship between these organisms. So you're going to start with round 1. You are going to ignore the results table. You can completely get rid of the results table. We are going to look at the conclusion part. So we're going to see basically what the relationship is between these organisms. So between A and B, what's the relationship? Between A and C, between A and D, B and C, B and D, C and D. So you guys are going to be working on that. So you are going to have to pause this video, read through the cards, and try to figure out what you got. Welcome back. So what you should have gotten between A and B is competition. A and C is commensalism. A and D is competition. Uh, B and C should be commensalism. And B and D should be competition. And the last one, C and D, should be commensalism. All right, so on to round 2. Again, pause this video, read through the cards, and see what you got. All right, round 3. Again, pause the video, see what you got. And round 4, here's the cards. Make sure you pause the video, go through it, and figure out what you got. All right, for the conclusion questions, make sure you guys answer these questions. So if the environment changed suddenly, for example, because of global warming, do you think generalist or specialist species would better adapt to avoid going extinct? So which ones? For this one, what would happen if a new invasive species came into your ecosystem and ate the blue, yellow, and red Fruit Loops and was better at collecting food than all four of your species? What do you think would happen? And then the last conclusion question, all populations living together within a community interact with one another and their environment in order to survive and maintain a balanced ecosystem. Do you agree with the statement? Why or why not?